Right, we're back with this little media box here. This sits down at a local museum I've been a volunteer of for more than a decade, almost 2 at this point. Built this back in 2012, and it uses Raspberry Pi version 1, and it's hidden in the box here. It's got a bunch of wiring, has a reversing camera display, USB hub, little audio amplifier, and I modified a USB keyboard and just branched out only the keys I needed for these push buttons here. It basically plays military appropriate documentaries as is relevant to the museum. What I've done today is added a little 2mm acrylic screen protector out of some of this stuff, and it looks really nice and shiny now. But yeah, the kids were playing with it. I've done some programming changes I'll go over in a minute, but we're going to fit this to the bottom and show you what it looks like. I thought I'd better just do the peel thing on camera. I peel the scratch guard off the acrylic. There we go. Alright, the other issue we've had recent with this has been people trying to nick the USB stick out of it, which has got nothing but a playlist and a few videos on it. But now no pesky bears can get their fingers in here, because good old Bear Grylls guarding it for us. Anyway, I put my logo on this, which I should have done many years ago. But anyway, this was before I even had this second YouTube channel, and it was even... well, I had my first YouTube channel, but I wasn't recording stuff. This was just a weekend's design. And actually, this technically should have been the back. It should have been like a vintage radio cabinet. Should have been on that side. These holes here were for the, supposed to be for a cover on the bottom. And these were tuning holes. But either way, I'm going to see how it sounds now that we've got all this on. Alright, we've got it running again. And it's working pretty well. This extra 2mm certainly does help. I don't mind the imagery. This is a historical documentary on here. You can skip through stuff here. It auto plays at boot. There's a lot in that same series of documentaries, so it's on random shuffle at the moment. I need to disable the shuffle. Have it play through the other stuff. Strange Days of the Cold War. It works pretty well. We'll turn that down. We don't need that music in here. But yes, the grill is working well. It's stopping it there. It's improving the sound a bit. I'll demonstrate what I've done with the power. One of the complaints I had with the people at the museum is, oh, the kids are all playing with it. Well, this is designed for somebody to come up and interact with. Hence the screen protector now. But the other thing is people pushing the power button, which would cause it to shut down. That's obviously got a problem with that one. We'll move on to the next one. We cancelled it anyway. So let's push the power button. Nowadays, it doesn't shut down. What it's going to do is go through a fake shutdown procedure, pretend to be off, like, oh no, we've messed it up, we've turned it off. Hopefully they get bored and walk away, and then a few seconds later, it's going to boot itself back up again. It should. It's just going to sit here for a little bit. We'll give it a moment. Now it's going to do a reboot loop. It's also going to wait a few seconds for the USB stick to be mounted. One of the problems we had is this does get turned off abruptly, or people pull the power out, and it was remounting the USB stick in a different directory each time. We've got into the FS tab file in Linux and set it up so that it's always in the same space. The playlist is now on the memory stick, so we can swap a memory stick out with a different playlist fairly easily. And we've had it also wait a little bit longer to start up. Everything happens. It's going to update its time over Wi-Fi. We've done an upgrade on the OS, a whole bunch of things. So doing pretty well, and I think it's going to be all right. I do probably need to remount the speaker quite a little bit better, but for the moment, the sound is pretty good. Let's see if we get some decent sound here. This is a geographic channel.
The world knows how the Third Reich ended. Few know how it began.
Okay, so it's got a pretty good... I'm pretty sure everybody knows how that began. It's got a pretty good low end on it now, so it wasn't quite as good with the open back on it. I tried to set it up a lot like the vintage radios at the time with open backs. But anyway, it sounds good. It's up and working. We're going to skip this bit because I'll probably get demonetized for it. Anyway, see you later. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, if you want to know a little bit more about this, I can do an in-depth video about exactly how it's made. But I still have to dig up my own designs. I can't even find the CAD files for the original case. I've had to remeasure it and rebuild it. Alright, find ourselves back in the museum. This is a spot where our little box normally lives. Here's our little box. I'm going to plug power in, and then we're going to just hide our network cable down there. Makes servicing this thing a lot easier in future. And let's go turn some power on. Alright, there are some remote control power points around here. Let's turn things on. Alright, I've got it on its side. It is working, but the display is not. I wonder if I've not bumped the display power out. I'm going to get some tools out, quick fix this. Alright, so I just disconnected and reconnected the monitor power. Seems to be working, so let's put the cover back on and see if it stops working. Alright, she works. Let's turn this up, see what the audio does in the museum here. See if it echoes through. And this is why it sits here. I got family on the walls in here. And I was a member of the Light Horse too. Long after they used horses. But still, close to home. I think that audio is going to do just fine in here. Alright, time to call it quits. See you in another video.